All right, all right, all right. So week 15 in CIT28, and this is our last full week of content. And starting, like I said last week, starting in week 16 and 17, we'll start winding down the work, which I thought would be a good time to talk about the end of the semester. So what I did is I laid out this schedule so that you are hopefully clear at this point how the dates as far as the end of the semester go, right? So December 9th is your last time to submit late work, and that's a Monday at noon, and to use a late pass. So remember, if you've been asking me to use late passes, I do note in the score so you know how many of you've used. And then last date to schedule a technical interview is to actually schedule it. The last time to get on my schedule would be December 4th, and that time window is pretty short if you're waiting to that last week, and I hope you're not, but I'm just telling you, you have to be on the schedule before that time, because like I said, my concern is the end of the semester and all that scheduling, and hopefully, you get it done sooner and you feel somewhat complete. Last date to complete the code review. Okay, so even no matter when you've gotten on the schedule, the last date will be Monday the 9th at noon. And by the way, this one was also at noon. Now, this is one thing I haven't talked about, and I want to be clear here, is that because I have to turn around fairly quickly and prep for the fall 2025 semester, the repos will be removed. So now what this means is, if you're somebody who wants to have some of that content, I would ask you don't share it around. If you know somebody else taking this course, there will be things I will do to try to limit that, as far as having a little bit of new content mixed in with some of the stuff we've already done, but I just ask you not to. So at this point, the easiest way to do it is if you want to clone locally, which some of you have already done. If that's something, and I had already shared some of that content, but if that's something you're interested in right now, would be a good time to start thinking about it. And what I could do is post, and the videos I post are typically for my JavaScript and my other courses, but be happy to share them here. So, but you could always download the zip file too of that repo as well. Okay, so this week. Okay, so in the reply here, I'm going to have specifics, but if you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. So this week we have the ICA for the Monday night item, and then the census taker, our last problem set for the Thursday night item. And as we've seen before, and I talk about this in the video for the ICA, I'm going to actually allow you, I've decided after reviewing that video, I'm going to give you an option to tell me, you completed the ICAs, and if you wanted to go ahead and attempt the census, I'm going to give you an option to submit that as well, because many of you have taken advantage of submitting earlier and getting my feedback on that one, on those type of things, so that you could address any issues in there. Okay. So afterwards, I realized after reviewing this a minute ago, I needed to include that. Okay. So again, once you submit the census taker URL, then there's no modifications at that point. So make sure you're understanding that process. Okay, so for this week, there's going to be 2 topics and 1 reply that I want you to do. And here's what I want you to think about. Think back on the first week of the course and rate your SQL between 1 and 5. And now think about the work we've done in the course and then rate your knowledge now between 1 and 5. Like, how were you at the beginning and how are you now? One of the things I definitely want to do next semester is actually do a pre-assessment and then do a post-assessment to see how well students in general are getting these concepts. But I'm going to ask you to do a self-assessment, which some people would say statistically isn't a good thing, but it gives me a gauge, which is helpful. Okay, so in your reply, I want you to have 2 paragraphs right? One that talks about this idea of where you were in the beginning, because some of you may have come in with some SQL, and where you are now, so between 1 and 5. And then the other paragraph I want you to write about in this case is, what advice would you give future students of this class? Because now that we're at this place to kind of review, here's the, we're moving towards the end of the semester. One of the things I find has been really helpful for future students is to hear current students say, hey, reflecting on what I know happened for me in this class, here's something I might have done different, or here's something I feel that worked well for you. Okay, so 2 different paragraphs for that, and then 1 reply. Now the thing I would say about the reply, you only have to reply to 1 student, but try to reply to somebody who hasn't had a reply to their post done. I just think it's a bit more engaging. Okay, so that's the work for this week. There is a video for the ICA, and there is a video for the census taker. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.